What if the insane bullet hell gameplay of the Touhou project had a little tryst with the endgame rating content of Final Fantasy XIV? And they did not use protection. 9 months later, out pops the most creative roguelike of the year in a bunny-sized package. This is Rabbit and Steel. I've always been addicted to MMOs, but due to my free time being severely sapped by the responsibilities of being the modern adult man, the never-ending solo grind for gear and goodies seems less appealing than it did when I was a little fella. Especially nowadays, where the most fun I seem to have with these types of games is the group content with the boys. Learning the mechanics of the raids, being yelled at to get out of the insta-kill box before we're all inevitably wiped because I'm the healer and went to the bathroom when the raid leader was explaining the strategy, and yeah, I guess that was my fault, but I'll never admit it.
Get on the bus!
I think you saved
Oh,
me.
it's this. Up! Okay. Right,
Sorry.
I've got you. Right. Okay, I'm taking a lot of damage trying to save your life. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go up. You ready?
Okay.
That's it.
Alright, okay.
Alright, get in, then we're gonna go left.
Captain, my captain. Oh.
Left. Fuck me. Did you put your hands out in front of you?
Are you like Knuckles?
Okay.
You know the video of the dude on the quad bike?
Yes, that's all I pictured. I was like, we're gonna go left, and you just stood still, like looking at your hands.
Put down the controller. How are you, lads? I'm back to Yap. This is the first game I've played from the developer Minodev, but I can confidently say that I have already become a huge fan, because I feel like they made this game for people like me. The fellas who are in love with the randomness of roguelikes and the mid-maxy nature of MMO raiding, but have commitment issues. While this game has simplified mechanics, it works heavily in its favor because it takes the things I love about both genres and mixes it together to make a concoction that stands out on its own. I never found myself getting bored in my 12 hours of game time, and it more than scratches that MMO itch that plagues me when I've got that FOMO when I'm watching my mates doing the new Final Fantasy content. And listen, I know I can get a level skip, but it just doesn't feel right. Anyway, back on topic. From the start of the game, you can pick from 5 classes. Your typical ranged DPSs are the Wizard Rabbit and the Druid Rabbit, a mid-range class called the Dancer, and the last 2 that you can pick from are the close-range characters, the Assassin Rabbit and Germa.
Onion ring! I got an onion ring!
All classes have 4 abilities, 3 damaging and 1 defensive. These can be upgraded with different effects later in the shop, some which are just straight up buffs, and others that make the ability very powerful but have their little caveat for the big buff. The game loop consists of you traveling from floor to floor, tackling a boss rush type setting, collecting items and leveling up to eventually throw hands with the big bad that's waiting for you at the end. While some of them are nice and easy, others are hell. Sidestepping bullets, clicking circles, ducking rotating lasers of doom, and forced teleportation. These are only a handful of the basic mechanics you'll need to learn in order to survive the relentless dangers that will be flung towards you as you hop through each stage. Once you start memorizing the patterns and lull yourself into a false sense of security, that's when the game hits you with bosses that bombard you with the player-seeking death zones, raining Undertale bullets, color-matching mini-games, and all the mechanics you have learned all at once for good measure. So it can overload that critical thinking part of your noggin, leaving only the muscle memory you've accumulated in those paws to fend for themselves. Okay, I'm gonna stay in the middle. I'm gonna go into the middle.
Stay there.
Go into the middle, yeah, I'm gonna go into the middle.
I like how me and Owen were set up for your teleport, and then you kept moving, and we were like, just stay still!
Yeah, but you know, my heart was in the right place. So
we know where you're going!
Oh, fuck. But that's what makes Rabbit and Steel so great. The feeling of overcoming every trial, just for you to realize the boss's second phase transforms them all the way to the end of the furry chart, providing them with a few more bunny-killing tricks, aka, you are in danger!
Alright, this is fine. What the fuck?
For the authentic experience, I'd suggest playing the game on hard, as it has the most content and mechanics shown to you each run. And I know this sounds like I'm just a sucker for pain, but listen, I only just beat Elden Ring a few weeks ago, so that might coincide with these newfound masochistic tendencies, but what is a bullet hell really? I'll tell you, it's Dark Souls for weeps, and you can't convince me otherwise.
This is Maxie, the crafter frog. Maxie comes out of hibernation once every 5 years to kill anime women.
Joe, get up! Get up!
Shitty! It's a bird! Ow! Ow!
Oh god! It's a rabbit's one weakness, big bird!
12 gauge. we took so much damage there.
I feel like these games are like, basically, if you look anywhere other than yourself, you're like in danger. Focus the tank, please. Oh no.
Bow. I'm gonna have to kill this guy more quickly. I know I do this every time we get to the double dark fight.
But it's basically them. And now for an ad break.
Outside the studio.
この番組はグランのスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Yeah, man, I think that's the take. But, could we just get one more of those for 60?
この番組はグランのスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
This video is brought to you by Boys on Internet, a gaming-focused YouTube channel that streams a variety of slop every Thursday evening. So if you'd like to see more of me and a few other sexy lads while you're at it, I'd appreciate it if you pop over to the second channel. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
You know what joke I didn't even think to understand until very recently? The chicken crossed the road
Yeah?
to get to the other side.
No fucking way.
It doesn't mean the other side of the road. It means to get to heaven. That's where the chicken crossed the road.
No, it's a lie! No, it's propaganda by the anti-chicken people! The chicken across the road! To the idiot's house. It's time to talk about the tunes, everybody! Let's do it in the, other room, though. Yeah, come with me, come this way. This way. Sorry about this. Yeah, music is something I'm very passionate about, especially for games, as it has the unique ability to engage our visual, hearing, and touch senses all at once, which makes the gaming experience very unique to other mediums. I've always found that other visual media is stuck in its distinct sound. Movies, for example, usually have their theme and tend to religiously stick with it throughout the runtime. While games also tend to follow this idea, I feel it's not odd for game composers to stray from this rule, giving more freedom to the composition, opening up to a lot more experimentation with sounds and genre changing. And the Rabbit and Steel soundtrack composed by the Japanese composer Steel Plus has a lot of fun with this, blending cinematic orchestration with traditional Japanese instruments, and some modern rock elements in there for a bit of spice. And boy, this soundtrack hits some lovely notes. Listen to this. It wouldn't feel out of place next to a Final Fantasy XIV soundtrack, or even other JRPGs like Fire Emblem Three Houses, for example. While I definitely feel the soundtrack wears its inspirations heavily on its sleeve, its composition easily stands out as something new and really complements the visuals really nicely. While I do wish the soundtrack had some heavier, higher BPM tracks, as I feel it's lacking in that area when the game gets intense, but even though I have that tiny critique, the soundtrack accomplishes everything it sets out to do, and it fits perfectly into the world of Rabbit and Steel. Steel Plus did a fantastic job, and I'm really excited to see what they do next.
Conclusion.
Rabbit and Steel is the best mashup of bullet hells and MMOs that is currently on the market. With more lockable characters, an extremely memey Steam Workshop community, and a passionate solo dev, Rabbit and Steel will keep your attention for hours, whether you decide to ride solo or with the lads. You can pick up Rabbit and Steel on Steam for €15 or your regional equivalent. I've been having a great time playing it, and I think you will too. Hey you, I really appreciate you watching my silly little video about bunnies. If you got this far, I would really appreciate it if you gave that little subscribe button a whack, or wrote a little letter down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you thought about the video. If you've got any suggestions on what I should do, I'd really appreciate it. It will really help me decide what I do with this channel going forward. But anyway, thanks for stopping by my town. You're free to stay as long as you like.